and cold. And then all of a sudden I hear my guide say, stand in the sun. So I stood in the sun, like I found this like beautiful piece. And I stood there and all of a sudden the light hit me and I felt like almost suspended in air. And
Wow.
I heard this booming voice. It's like the entire, like it just moved into this white light. And I was warmed. I heard this booming voice like call me. And I was just like, if I could have fallen to my knees, I would have, but I was like suspended in this light. And it was God. It was God's source talking to me through me. And it was the love that I've never felt or experienced or any it was just beyond what you could ever imagine. And then he explained to me how we are all connected as one, and I saw the interconnectedness of our source energy connected to all things.
Hey there, beautiful souls. It's your girl, Allie, and we're back at it again for another episode of Living Life Consciously. We have a very special guest lined up for you today, and I am stoked to get started. So without further ado, Justin, say hey.
Hey there, Cosmic Thrill Seekers. I'm Justin, and this is Living Life Consciously, where we explore the extraordinary, ride the waves of inspiration, and embark on an adventure of limitless curiosity together.
Hi, I'm your co-host Leslie, also known as Light Being Love, an eternal spiritual being having a temporary human experience, and I'm grateful to be here now.
Absolutely.
And Lisa?
Oh, and I'm Lisa Richmond, and I'm very, very honored to be here today. Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Can't wait to get started. But before we do that, for our audience that may not be familiar, let me just give a formal introduction, okay? All right, so meet Lisa Richmond, an intuitive medium and life coach extraordinaire who delves into the mysteries of life, spiritual expression, and relationships, all while exploring the transformative power of sound in healing and nervous system regulation. With her captivating storytelling and engaging dialogue, Lisa invites you to embark on a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. From intuitive coaching to mediumship, she seamlessly weaves together a holistic practice and intuitive insights to help you connect mind, body, and spirit. Drawing from her background in early childhood mental health and family counseling, Lisa brings a wealth of experience and compassion to every session. With a heart as vast as the universe and a spirit as boundless as the sky, she creates a space where healing and growth flourish. As a mother of 4 and a globetrotter at heart, Lisa's adventurous spirit fuels her quest for knowledge and understanding. Whether traveling the world or nurturing her intuitive gifts at home, she radiates love and wisdom in all that she does. Lisa, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Oh, thanks.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh, it's all true though.
Really, like, oh my God.
Aw,
Thank you.
much love.
Yeah.
So where would you like to start? Is there any place specific you'd like to start, or would you like to start with how it started in childhood for you, receiving intuitive messages? It's up to you.
Yeah. Gosh, such a journey. Hey, it feels like it's hard to really pick a starting point. I've definitely always lived a very intuitive life. So yeah, it started when I was really little. I was always talking to angels. The Divine Mother Mary would frequent my my room and help me through uh, my childhood for sure. I took a
Mm.
lot of solace in talking to my angels and Mother Mary.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, and then it kind of moved away from that as I closed it up a bit. Uh,
Okay.
and I kind of went through the process, always kind of intuiting things that you don't realize are unique until you realize that everyone can't really feel it. So, yeah, so I always saw energy around people. I could tell if somebody's energy wasn't aligned. Like I was always able to, it's hard to describe, but I see now is like authentic auric fields versus when you're
Oh,
wearing an inauthentic auric field. So
Oh.
sure, yeah.
I remember looking at adults and they would be talking to me or they'd be talking around and I would go, hmm, that doesn't match. Like it's not truthful. Like I could just tell. And it
Okay.
wasn't even from like being like deviant or something like that. It's not like they were like really being awful. It's just I could tell that their authentic energy wasn't matching with what they were saying or how they were behaving. And so as I got older and kind of got back into it, I realized that I can just read people's auras and but from a different, like not just like specifically seeing colors, but it's more of like an energetic knowing, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I've come to know through my guidance system that I came in with this so that I could really tell if someone was being honest with me and if I could trust them with my kids and those kind
Okay.
of things.
Mhm.
Sure.
So that's kind of the auric field. And then I started mediumship up again when I had my first uh, second miscarriage. Sorry, when I had my second miscarriage, I was going through it obviously, and I had Mother Mary come back to me again, and then I had a friend's mom come through to me, and they all showed up, and they were talking to me about. They're like, "It's time now. Like it's time." And I was like, "Time for what? Tell me." And they're like, "It's
Like, what
time.
do you
It's
mean?
time."
What
And
are we
this
getting
like the
into?
whole room turned golden and this beautiful like the angels were saying. I was just like sitting up and I was like shaking my husband like, "Huh? There's angels, they're back." And then from that point on, it was just boom, 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 boom. I just like it was whether or not I was gonna say yes, or it just started happening. It was whether or not I was gonna be open or whether I was gonna resist it. So
Wow.
I just started from there, and I know that no matter in which capacity it is, I'm here to work with spirit for the greater good. And I get guided every day with how that looks, whether it's in mediumship readings, whether it's using sound. My guides are really leaning me into the quantum field, quantum healing. And
Ooh.
so because I can feel the auric field, I'm using sound and how I do it is I kind of use my tuning forks first and I just feel out the whole energy field. And then
Hmm.
when there's something that's stuck, I can go in and I can feel when the energy is out of alignment. And the beautiful part of this is that, like a reading, I'll go in and I'll see like where that energy got stuck. So they'll show me their
Mm.
childhood, or they'll show me their heart space, or they'll show me their like
Okay.
whatever it might be. And so we kind of like massage that a bit. And so then I work through all the energy, I pull in all the angels to help them. And then I go over afterwards with them kind of like a little reading afterwards and saying like this is where I found the blocks, this is how we cleared it out, this is the angels that showed up to help, and so it goes. So that's kind of in a
Wow.
nutshell what I do.
That was cool. I have one
Yeah.
persistent question that was sticking in my brain the whole time, just because I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to be wondering this. Did you grow up in like a, and forgive me if this is too forward, I don't think it is, but did you grow up in a religious household or more of
Yeah.
a spiritual
No,
household?
no, 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 no. Very, very Catholic. I was raised very
Okay.
Catholic. Very,
So
very,
was
very
I. Okay.
Catholic.
We have that in
Hmm.
common.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And so I feel like I've taken a lot of connection specifically to Mother Mary. I mean, my mom is very Catholic still, but her connection to spirit and God is so strong, and so she
Mhm.
just practices it differently, but she's very connected to Mother Mary as well, and she's so
Ah.
connected to the divine feminine. So kind of full circle coming around as she's gotten to know what I do and how I do it and the energy. It's like she can feel that energy too.
Okay.
So it's not so kind of fear driven with my mom, with other members of the family.
Not they take a
That's
different
maybe not so
approach.
much, but
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering how, your family would be embracing all of your gifts.
Oh, No,
Mixed
it's
bag, mixed bag.
yeah, totally. I mean, what are
Okay.
you gonna do, right?
Understood.
Like,
Yeah, yeah. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Very
yeah,
cool. You have so many amazing gifts. So you've mentioned that you speak with angels, you have a very deep
yeah,
connection with Mother Mary, you have
yes.
communication with your guides. That's all such amazing
Mhm.
guidance. Like, wow, I'm
Yeah,
impressed. That's
yeah.
amazing. Is there anybody
Sometimes
else
I'm
on
like,
that
guys, you
list?
gotta turn it down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it's whether it's the angelic realm where I work alongside light beings that come through. Yeah, there's been an array, especially lately, especially in like the last 6 months. I can't even believe it. But yeah, no, it's been good. It's been really good. Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And I've got my kids are I got you guys, I have to share a story today
Okay.
because
Please.
Yeah,
Leslie,
please.
you told me about a bird and how birds are symbolic. You guys have to hear what happened this morning,
I'm here
okay?
for it.
So
Spill the tea, sis.
I have 3 girls and 1 boy. They're all very intuitive. Um, and obviously, like it works through their own little authentic selves as kids. It's so cool to see. But anyway, so I'm sitting down to do my son's hair. I'm also a hairstylist. So we're doing hair this morning, and all of a sudden, I have a big window behind. All of a sudden, I hear thunk, and I'm like I can feel it. I'm like, that was
Oh.
a bird. That was a bird. I know that was a bird. Like I was just like,
Oh.
oh. So I look at August. I'm like, August, do you want to look and see if it was a bird? I know it was a bird. And then he's
Aw.
like, do you want me to? I'm like, yes. Okay. So he looks out the window and he's like, yeah, it was a bird. I'm like, it's dead. And he's like, no, no, it's moving its eyes. I can see its eyes moving. And I'm like, okay. So I look and it's just like flat out,
He's
wings
like
flat out.
splayed
And he's
out.
totally stunned. And I'm like, please don't break your neck. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
I've dealt
so I
with
look at
similar
him.
situations before. I know what you're
I
doing.
know. And I'm like, oh. So I look at August. I'm like, what are we gonna do? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, guides, angels, please. Like, what the heck? And they said, grab your sounds. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, August, let's go do
Oh.
sound healing for this bird. And he's like, okay. I'm like, what do you feel comfortable playing? He's like, the blue bowl. I'm like, okay. That's an F. It's like a heart-based one. So he grabbed the blue bowl, and then I
Mm-hmm.
grabbed my 528 hertz tuning fork.
Oh,
So then
yeah.
we go tiptoe outside and we go,
I
and
am
then
loving this.
yeah, so
Yes,
I've got
me
my tuning fork, he's
too.
got the bowl, and he's 10, okay?
Okay.
So and then we looked
That
at
makes
he's
it
like,
even
"Oh,"
better.
I know, he's like, "Mama,
Is our
he's
bulb over
really
here?
scared, you can feel how scared he is." And I'm like, "I
Oh,
know, buddy, it's okay, it's okay." So I just, like, called in all the healing energy around, all the angels, "Please come and help us to connect with the heart of this bird." And so then I start playing the tuning fork, and August starts with the bowl, and all of a sudden the bird lifts his head and it's like looking around. I'm like, his neck's not broken. And then I'm starting to use some like voice
Yay.
stuff, and he's playing, and I'm like calling the angels in and the sound. And all of a sudden, the bird just like comes up and stands on its feet. Within, I would say, a minute tops, the bird got up and flew away.
Wow.
Wow, you
amazing.
really
That is
did
an amazing
that.
We
story.
did. I
Yeah.
was like,
They
oh,
did,
like
yes.
August, like that happened today. And I was just
Wow.
like,
Oh.
I know my husband's like, did you get it on camera? I'm like, no.
We were too
Hold on, let
busy.
me get my phone.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
so anyway, that was
Wow.
it's just a really cool story where I know that a lot of people who connect with healing with
Mm-hmm.
sound, like
Yeah.
it's sometimes it's like, well, how does sound heal? And I'm like, you want to be able to use words and describe it. But like I say to my clients too, I literally, my first language is energy. So with all my readings and everything that transpires, I always have to translate the energy into like language, right?
Sure.
And so like I wish I could translate it as eloquently as I feel it in my nervous system or in the energy field,
Yeah.
but it's hard. So it's just like I'll do the research to like fill in the blank for explaining it to people, so that people have some answers, but really it's in the magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I want to say, speaking of the magic, just before I forget, like I was watching some videos of yours, like recent videos on your YouTube channel, and there was one of them, I can't remember which one it was, but there was an ant that had shown
Yeah.
up for you.
What did it do?
It immediately caught my attention because I've had multiple ants like but on my body. Like so I felt something in my hair the other day. Unfortunately, the ant didn't survive. I did
Uh-oh.
like a memorial
Oh.
for this ant. Okay.
Thank you, Leslie.
Because I didn't know what it was, and like as soon as I felt something, I was like,
Yeah,
and it was an
understandable.
ant anyway. But the ant didn't make it. But the other one was on my arm, which it must be in my car because both times I was in my car. But anyway, so um ants in my car, ants on me. Anyway, it was very specific, and ants are great. I agree, ants are awesome. So
Oh, he just appeared out of nowhere. I know I was in the middle of this like
video.
deep conversation. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Mhm.
That was great. So
Yeah.
and then I felt like there was another synchronicity too, but I've already forgotten. Oh, well, I was going to ask what kind of bird was it? I was curious.
I was wondering that
Was
too.
It was, I don't know if it's like there's a formal name for it, but it was a very unique, it was like a red-headed woodpecker.
No,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
She has a
that's
thing with
significant.
woodpeckers too. Those are super significant.
Tell me.
I feel like I want to look it up, so I'm not talking out but
You
my
made me
phone.
want to go
But
grab
like
my bowl.
I've seen two
I
other
wanna go get my
red-headed
singing bowl.
woodpeckers in my life, and both times it was significant. And
Okay.
so this was like really incredible. It was like very, very like, oh, it was big. It was really big. So, and the fact of it is when you can feel energy so strongly, you can feel animals too. And so with this, like we're
Yeah.
both always so scared. It's like, you know what I mean? But you could feel the energy increase. You
No,
could feel the frequency.
528. That was the other thing I forgot was the
Oh,
frequency,
yeah.
528. I have been listening to 528 frequency for like almost a week now. Like, and
Oh,
I haven't been pulled towards listening to sound frequency that much, although I'm totally aware of it and it's how awesome it is. I just wasn't really using it in my life. But this week specifically, I have literally been listening to 528 hertz, like all
528.
kind of videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
And
sleep
Yeah.
to that.
Mhm. A lot of
Yeah.
times,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
But the bird story was really significant to me for many reasons. First of all, I'm a huge animal lover, always have been, always will
Mhm.
be,
Yep.
animal advocate,
Too.
and there was one time in my classroom, my classroom had like these big windows on the side wall, and same thing. One day I'm sitting in there teaching my kids science, and we heard doom, and I'm like, oh, I know what that sound is. Uh-oh. So I go, I look out, and of course there's a bird splayed out on the ledge. I think it was being chased by a hawk or something. But anyways, it hit the window, knocked itself out. So of course the kids look at me because they all know Miss Allie loves animals, right? So I'm like, okay, field trip outside. So I go outside, grab the bird, put it in a milk crate. I bring it into the classroom. I put the bird on the desk and put the milk crate over it. This way it has a chance to breathe. We could look at it. It can't get away.
Yeah.
And it took a good like 5 or 10 minutes for him to come back fully.
Yeah.
So the
It
fact that
usually
you're
does.
like at least 5 minutes, because we were standing around watching it for a while. But the fact that the bird that you helped resuscitate
Yeah.
came back in like less than 2 minutes, that's a significant difference. I feel like
Yeah,
the
because
sound
it was
really
out. Yeah, and then all of a sudden you could see it just like, whoop, and
come.
I was like,
Well,
oh,
thank you for doing that. That warms my
yeah.
heart that you did it. It warms my heart that you did it with your 10-year-old son, teaching the next generation how to
Right.
do this kind of
Yes.
thing. Empathy, sound healing, intuitive healing. I love
Yes.
it.
Yes. Oh, he's such a natural empath.
Tell him
Oh,
I said thank you on behalf of
I
all the animal
will.
lovers.
I
Thank you,
will. I
August.
will. Yes. Yeah, no, I'm an animal lover too. Actually, I didn't even mention that, but I do lots of intuitive readings with animals. Like
Oh,
people will
wow.
get me to like, and like a lot of stuff that comes through. It won't be just like if they're really wanting something or something doesn't agree, like a digestive issue, or if they have an allergy to something, or if something's really irritating for them, like
Mhm.
they're so clear. Animals
Okay.
are so clear to read because they don't have that ego that stands in the way. They don't. It's
Yes,
just
it's
this
true.
like clear connection to their heart space.
Mm.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Do you
Yeah.
also connect with animals that have passed on as well?
Yes.
Since
Oh, all the time. When I'm in a reading, I'll be like, okay, I have like a German Shepherd here. Did you grow up with a German Shepherd? Or like there'll be a cat hanging around, and
I wonder
um
if you said that for a reason, if mine
I
just came
probably
through.
did, I have to say, because there's a German Shepherd hanging around.
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh my gosh,
I'm gonna cry.
Allie.
Oh my god, I miss her so much.
Aw.
Her name was Gretchen. She was beautiful. She was absolutely perfect. So
Oh,
smart,
I've got
so
goosebumps all
smart,
over.
so pretty, so loyal.
Yeah.
I miss her so much.
Yeah. Me too.
You gave her a chance to be her. Like, you gave her an opportunity. She's saying that, like, you gave her the life that she wanted. It was like you could
Aw.
see and understand how smart she was. And it's almost like she had a mission, and you were the one who understood that and like gave her that opportunity to live and do the things that she was naturally really good at. So
Okay.
she's, yeah, like, I want to say, like, you gave her the like, it feels like, did she have like did, first of all, did you rescue her?
Not necessarily, no.
Was she just a puppy?
Yes, she was a tiny little baby.
Okay, because she's saying like she got to do, like, she got to perform or like do something that she was meant to do here. Like
Okay.
she got, so whether it was like intuitive work or whether she was like was she really really good? Like, did you do stuff with her nose, like smelling, like nose
I
stuff?
always gave her boops and kissed her on her nose.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, there's lots of nose stuff here.
Lots
And
of
she's
boops
like,
happening.
yeah, but that was like
Aw.
a when she did good, right? When she
Uh-huh.
did something good, that was her
Yes.
like validation. So she'd come for it, kind of like, you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
yeah. You gave her the opportunity to shine, and you gave her the opportunity to do what she came here to do alongside you, though, right? Like, you guys were like little
I
soulmates.
felt that we were soul connected for sure
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
she came into my life at a specific time and she like I don't want to dismiss my other dogs, but like to me, German Shepherds are on a different level. Like that dog and I were connected. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I was always so super proud of being her mom. I always validated everything that she did. You know, I was always super supportive and I always used to ask her, I'm like, who gave you permission to be so pretty? Like, do you have like a certification or something? Like, show me who told you you could be so pretty. And yeah, I just really loved her. So thank you for
Oh,
expressing that
she
and allowing her to come
really
through. That
loved
was so
you too.
unexpected. Oh my gosh.
You never know when it's gonna happen, right? Oh,
Oh,
that's really
he just
beautiful.
brought her picture. This is her.
Oh,
Oh, she's so pretty.
Isn't she gorgeous? Oh my
She
god.
was a
Oh,
puppy though.
Yeah. Gosh, I didn't
oh,
expect to get so emotional on this
very
call, you guys.
purposeful though. Yeah.
Thank
You
you
know,
so
because
much.
when dogs come in with a certain purpose or connection and they never really like, it's not that they aren't necessarily acknowledged for the purpose of why they came in. She's like so like the way she sits proud is
Oh,
because you acknowledged
yes, I
her purpose. Yeah.
did. Oh man, thank you so
Boop.
much. Yeah, blue boobs. Oh
I
man,
love it.
thanks. Okay. Whew.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was amazing. Thank you.
I know. I'm so happy for you, Allie, because
Thank
like, yeah,
you.
Gretchen meant the world,
Oh,
and
me
this is like
too.
encapsulated a little thing for Gretchen, and I just think that's beautiful. Like
Mhm.
Allie will always have this now, and I love that.
Yeah.
This is her remembrance bracelet too. I have this on.
Oh my goodness. Well, no wonder she was here. I got goosebumps all over. The love is so strong.
Oh,
I
thank you.
actually want to, my dream, okay, full disclosure, this is my like put everything out there dream,
Okay.
is to get a nice piece of land and do animal rescue. And I want to do like cows and
Ah.
donkeys, and like I want to do animal rescue, like a sanctuary,
Yes.
and then have like it's my therapy farm, because my background is in like therapeutic interventions for trauma and lot, like, and
Mhm.
so I would like to integrate it. I would like to open it up for, individuals who are struggling with mental health, PTSD, trauma, childhood trauma, and
Yeah.
just have an integrative therapy farm. Because
I love that.
That is great.
healed animals transmute a different frequency that is higher than like animals in general, yes, but animals that have connected to their heart space and opened up trust, like connected with that healing vibration,
Mhm.
actually have their potential to heal on a frequency to connect with humans
Yeah.
is so much
Wow.
greater. And oh, I want to put that into play because I can see it. I can
I
see it.
love that for you. I love that for you.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly, whole souledly, like, definitely support that. I would love for you to do that. I'm here for
Well,
it.
when I do it, I'll invite you, and you
Yes,
can come
please.
check it out and see the animals and spend some time with them.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, that would
Um,
be awesome.
there was a time where I studied animal communication, which was specifically the telepathic communication with animals. I did that at
Yeah.
Communication with All Life University with Joan Ranquet. And there was one of my classmates that I was taking her course with, excuse me, that owns a facility called the Gentle Barn, where they have rescued farm animals, cows, pigs, turkeys, like all kinds of different animals. And she does exactly that. I waited till the end to say this because I don't want to like make it seem like somebody's already doing what you want to do. However, she does use those rescued animals as
That's
therapy for
amazing.
people. Like they come and have cuddle sessions, like 20-minute cuddle sessions, and people that have like trauma or PTSD just come and hang out with the cows, and like you don't even
Yeah.
have to speak. It's just feeling the
Well, you
energy.
don't. There's no direction. They just do it themselves.
Right.
And I'm willing to bet that
Horses are
people that
amazing.
come off of that farm afterwards will say, I don't know what it is,
But
but it's
something
the best
happened.
therapy I've ever had. Yeah.
Right, right.
They animals just have that. So I'm curious, like, how did you connect with the animals then? Like, was there any animal that you found necessarily easier to connect with? Do you have like a different, like, are there symbolisms in your animal connections?
I would say the most profound, because I'm thinking back to all the different animals that I communicated with during those courses. I communicated with cats and dogs. But the most profound to me was a horse, because
Mm,
the horse was on like a whole different level. Like
big time.
that horse was so cosmically smart. Like the knowledge that thing had was ridiculous. The way that it understood and perceived things with such meaning and feeling was so powerful. And then there was a moment where I felt this like swirling above my crown, and the horse communicated to me that it was working on my crown
Mm.
chakra and clearing out
Oh my
blockages for me. I was
gosh.
like, "Oh my god, I'm just going to absorb all of this." Like
Yay.
it was, wow, it was powerful. I haven't thought about it in a long time, actually.
Oh
Yeah,
my,
that's
Myself, I've heard
yeah.
that story. Like
that's
with the
so
spiral.
beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, like I felt the horse just swirling. Like I felt the energy just, yeah, people are gonna think that sounds a little kooky, but I really don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, at this point, we could care less what they think.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love
thanks.
that.
Love that too.
Yeah, that's an amazing story, honey.
Thank you. So, yes, love animals. Thank you for all of that. But I wanted to admire your beautiful earrings. It looks
Oh,
like maybe quartz. Am I
yeah,
right? Oh, there we go. Okay. And I also noticed you had some palm stones in your hands earlier. There
always,
we go.
always.
So, do you use crystals in your therapy sessions with people and your
I
sound healing?
use
How do you integrate
crystals
them?
all the time. So I have crystals all over my house. I have crystals in every corner of my yard. I have crystals in every room. I have crystals under my bed, under my kids' bed. I have them in everybody's room. I channel with them. I clear them out on a regular basis, and I keep getting more.
Right?
Can never have enough, right?
Never
No.
have enough.
No.
No. No,
What's your
I
favorite kind to work with?
don't. Oh, it depends on what I'm doing,
Okay,
really.
that's a fair answer.
Yeah, I think that my like all around one that I found like really, really powerful
Mm-hmm.
is the Lemurian crystal. I really connect with that
Oh,
one.
okay.
That kind of takes me back to my like original days and back in Lemuria.
Okay.
And not to be as cliche as being a like psychic medium, guys, but check this out.
Okay,
Okay.
show and tell. Oh snap! I'm gonna have to go grab some. Ooh, Oh, is that selenite?
I have and it's like I
That's
thought I was gonna get a like just when I was being called to get her, I thought it was just gonna be like an actual like clear crystal ball,
Mhm.
like traditional, like but that had more glass in it than I was wanting. And
Okay.
then this one I use all the time. I
She's
bring her out to the
gorgeous.
full moon, and yeah, like
That's
she's a powerful one.
I
So yeah,
love
I use
her.
her all the time. Yeah.
I love her. I
Yeah.
think
What about you?
the most okay, so I was just being compelled to share a story with you guys that the most transformational
Moldavite.
experience I ever had exactly with a crystal was when I got a chunk of moldavite. And oh my god. Like I
Really?
had been calling upon my spirit guides for a while at that point to bring change into my life. Like I'm like, look, I need a complete reset. Just mash that reset button. I'm ready for a whole new everything. Let's not only just close this chapter, but let's close this book. You know what I'm saying? And then through a giveaway that happened on my server, I won a 2.9 gram piece of moldavite. And oh, well, before I even say I won it, first of all, somebody else had won it. And the
Yeah,
guy that had it shipped it to her. She never picked it up from her P.O. box, so it ended up getting mailed back to him. And then he's like, look, this must be meant for you because it's back in my possession again, and I don't know what to do with it, so I'm just going to give it to you. And let me tell you, when
Yay.
she arrived in my life, the shakeup that happened was ridiculous. It
Really?
took everything and flipped it upside down exactly like I had been asking my spirit guides for. And within a year, my life looked completely different. So much happier now, living so much better, so much healthier. It's just like that moldavite shook shit up, excuse my French, but it did me right. It yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Thank you. Oh, he just grabbed our crystal ball.
Oh, nice.
I think that's glass though.
Do
I'm
you
pretty
use
sure
it?
that's just glass, but
Do you use it?
I
Oh, it's
scry
probably
I
mixed.
scry a little. I scry a little, you know. Oh, this is my moonstone. We don't have to
Oh,
do a
yeah.
whole show and
Moonstone.
tell, but this
No,
is
but moonstone's
rainbow
super, super,
moonstone.
super effective as well. I love moonstone.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yes.
And then this is the newest one.
Go ahead, show it off.
Ooh.
That's actually salt.
It's salt, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, we went to Kansas and we went to a salt mine that was 650 feet below the surface. And when you go, you get a souvenir chunk of salt. But the whole we were
You're in a
literally
salt
in a
mine.
salt tunnel, like that had been
Yeah.
dug out and carved out and excavated, I think is the right word.
Right.
And like floors, walls, and ceiling was all
Yeah,
salt.
you're surrounded by salt.
Yeah,
the whole entire room
it was a
is
really
just
cool
salt.
environment. Like they even store things down there, like different costumes from different movies and stuff, because it's a perfect temperature. There's no humidity. It stays the same, consistent environment. So it's really good for like helping things to preserve, I guess. Like what costume was there? Was a couple costumes down there. A couple documents.
From Batman Begins, the Mr. Freeze costume.
Yeah.
The
just
Batman
yeah.
costumes. I mean, the costume that Arnold Schwarzenegger wore in the movie. That's down there. There's Men in Black memorabilia, sunglasses that he wore, the little gun that he shot.
Yeah, it was a cool place. It was a cool place.
No kidding.
Right.
Yeah, but it was really nice to see like the walls and the ceiling, the floor. Like you could see the different layers of the different
The
kinds
layers of it.
Yeah, so I felt like I was walking around in like a living crystal. It was
Yeah,
really
it really
cool.
was.
Oh, that's
It was amazing.
so cool.
That's why I brought it.
So just a tidbit with that salt, that's a very powerful salt rock that you have.
Okay.
If you're ever wanting a quick cleanse on your crystals, just put them around that on a wooden board,
Okay.
and that'll cleanse it out for you.
I've always used selenite to cleanse, but I could definitely use
Put that salt one in the middle, and you put all the other ones around it on a wooden board.
Wooden
Like
board.
one night, it'll all be cleared out.
Wow. Okay.
Thanks. Very cool.
It's
Yeah.
really powerful. It's really powerful.
I'm glad that you know that. Thank you
Wow.
for sharing
I didn't
that.
know
So is it just that one or just all salt chunks? Like
Well,
I know you can clear with salt. I mean, I know
yeah,
that.
you can put like salt on it and put them on salt, but that particular one is powerful enough that it'll clear out your
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good one. I was like, whoa.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
very
just have a
cool.
couple of chunks of the Himalayan pink salt. I mean, I didn't go like
Yes.
find them or excavate them myself
Yeah.
or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, we have a salt lamp
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
that's
Yeah,
it.
now,
those are so
Mhm.
good.
aren't they?
Mhm.
Hey. Yeah.
yeah.
I'll put those
And I
on
was
in my
wondering,
Christmas
after you
room.
spend time in their alley, I mean, it doesn't seem like they use it for any kind of healing, but did you notice like yourself feeling better after being in the salt or breathing, better or anything
Yeah.
like that?
I mean,
Yeah.
I felt a difference.
did you really?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I was too enamored by like just looking at all the stuff because they had all kinds of like ancient equipment down there, and we had his dad with us, so I was
Yeah, my dad
making sure
almost
he was
passed out
okay.
twice.
Oh, so this is what I have with me. You see that?
Oh, can you put it in
Oh.
front of you so we see it? There you go.
It's just like
Oh,
Oh, that's pretty.
yeah.
very nice.
Should I
It's
put it closer?
beautiful. No,
I
we
can
raise it
never.
now.
Oh, in front. Thank you, Allie.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I love show and tells.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Oh, and then I always have chakra stones. I don't know if I should pull them all out, but it's these cute little stones, and they have like
Oh yeah, the
Mm.
chakra
Yeah.
symbols on them.
one for each chakra, and they have the symbol. But I'm very attached to these.
Oh, that's amazing.
Cool.
That's amazing.
Leslie, do you want to ask her any like interview questions?
I feel like she pretty much like whatever questions I had. I feel like she kind of answered already. So
No,
she's definitely expressing what she does. I am wondering how you met Jeanette Byro because I just love her.
Jeanette and I met. Well, we're from this like same area of Canada. Like originally, like we're around the same area.
Oh, okay.
So we met at a sound healing, actually at a yoga studio.
Ah.
I saw her across the room, and it was like I just couldn't stop staring. Like, how do I know her? How do we like we know each other? Never met, right? So then we laid down, had our whatever blankets on. We were across the room. She was with her friend. I was solo, and then they did the sound healing, and our higher selves met in the middle and did this little dance or whatever. And afterwards, I was like, "Whoa!" Like when I
I've
woke
actually
up,
heard this story. I already
yeah.
heard it. Go ahead. I
And
wanna
then
know.
she came over to me and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry if this seems really weird, but our higher selves." I'm like, "There's in the middle of the-" She's like, "Oh." So then from that point on, we just started hanging out, and it was crazy because we had this like instantaneous remembrance of our work together and our lives together and our
Okay.
like it was like our souls were like, finally you two, finally you come together. So we've just been, yeah, inseparable spirit wise since. Like Jeanette and I haven't really like hung out human to human, like in the same place
Okay.
a lot, like a
Allie
few
and I are the
times.
same.
Yeah. But then like we talk every day, and we're just so like we're closer than just close friends. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Right.
Soul sisters,
Oh.
kind of like Leslie and I
Oh,
feel
we're
like we are.
100% soul sisters. Yeah, like no question about it. We decided to come in without any karmas together. Do you know what I mean? Like, because if we were actual sisters, and we'd have shit to deal with.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny. It's one of those things. I got a story with Jeanette. This is like an example of how her and I are not meant to be like human karmic stuff. Like, we're not meant to compete as humans. We're not like that energy doesn't exist. So she invited me up to her cabin once. I brought my kids, and we're sitting there, and I'm like, "Do you play cards?" And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Actually, just like one game is my favorite." And I'm like, "Me too. What do you play?" She's like, "Speed." I'm like, "That's my game." She's like, "That's my game." I'm like, "I've never lost." She's like, "I've never lost." I'm like, "Oh no."
Uh-oh. Game on.
Yeah.
So here we go. So then we played, and then she won, I won, she won, I won. And then we were like, okay, this is a tiebreaker. This is the ultimate showdown, right?
Yep.
So then we go and we play, and we're down to one card, both of us, one card in the final showdown. And then the last card gets flipped over, and we both go speed at the same time. And they were both the number 7. And that was it. And it was like, we laughed so hard because Spirit was like, "You two aren't competing. You cannot compete. There's no winner. Like, that's not how it works for you two." So we're like, "All right, truce forever."
That's so
Forever.
cute. That is so
That's
cute.
yeah, that's so funny.
Can you share with our audience what type of work do you do with Jeanette? Because like Leslie and I are very familiar with Avalon Spirit and Spirit Coffee Talk and all that, but give us a rundown of what you do, maybe like what services you offer, and
Okay.
then can you tell our audience where they can find you? Where would you like
Yes.
them to go?
Okay. So this is awesome. So I work alongside Jeanette and Elise on Spirit Coffee Talk. The three of us, we meet every Friday and we just have coffee and chat about what's going on with like life. And then Avalon Spirit is Jeanette's company. And so she does a lot of like spiritual teachings and stuff. And then I offer I offer mediumship readings on the with Avalon. So you can go to Avalon Spirit and you can book with me to do I do 60-minute and 30-minute intuitive sessions, mediumship sessions. And then I have my own thing too, which is Beyond Boundaries with Lisa Richmond. And so I come online 3 times a week. I do Tarot Tuesdays where I pull tarot cards for a weekly reading, and then it's like a
Hmm.
collective reading. And then Thoughtful Thursday, I come on every Thursday and I either have channeled messages or just kind of like this stuff, like we're just visiting about stuff. And then Spirit Saturdays is like, that's like my jam because I don't talk. I just play sound bowls and I channel the bowls healing frequencies so that each one has a different layer, and it's for essentially healing. And so people, you can put it on in the background, you can fall asleep to it, and it's about an hour and it is deeply therapeutic, and it's meant to like healing what in multi different ways. So that's kind of, you can go on to Beyond Boundaries with Lisa Richmond. And then you can also email me for like private like readings, but also like specific things. So one of my new services is actually you can email me. All my information's in my bio, and like email me like a question and your name if you want to add a picture of you or something like that. And then what I do is I go into your energy field and I pull through from your guides and higher self any kind of messages that are for you. And then I do an individualized like 20 to 30-minute sound healing sessions,
Mm.
Wow.
and I videotape it, and then I email back with everything that came through from your guides, any loved ones from the other side, anything that you need to know. So it's like a little mini reading kind of thing, as well as a video for you so that you have access to forever.
That
And
is
so
Wow.
that's,
amazing.
yeah, it's a new
Yeah.
offering. That's the one my guides are like, this is what we want you to do because it's specific to you, like to do this. So yeah, I do that too. And it's really great because it really like hits people personally,
Oh,
right? Like
yeah,
that
it
that
seems
Yeah.
and
very
then they have it
custom.
forever. Yeah. And it's like made for your energy system and your auric field, and so that it can get integrated and help to balance the chakras and your nervous system and deep healing. So,
Very
yeah.
It's like
powerful.
a tune up, individual tune up to
Yeah.
their specific needs.
And then anything else that comes through is like, it'd be like your grandma showed up and she's showing me, like she's sending this off with love and her pie. Like my client last week, her grandma obviously was known for baking pies. And so I'm like, your grandma showed up. She baked this pie. I could smell it, everything, all the stuff. And this was her message. And this is the sound healing that goes with the nurturing from your grandmother. And she was very, very close to her grandmother,
That's
obviously.
awesome.
So yeah, it was really cool. So it has a good mix of everything.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful. And
Yeah, it's
I'll
like a great
include,
package.
yes, it seems like a very well-rounded, well thought out package.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'll include
Mhm.
links to all of those places and things down in the video description
Yes.
box below. So if you would like
Yes.
to work with Lisa, if you feel drawn to any of those services that she offers, and if you resonate with her message, make sure to check that out.
Yeah.
Can you share a story with us, like a super profound reading that you had with a client, or like your favorite message that came through, or something
Oh
along
gosh.
those lines?
You guys, I had one of the craziest profound experiences of my life. April 1st.
Oh, recently.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So I went to Sedona for my birthday. And
We need to go.
Yeah.
yeah, I had never gone before. And in 2012, my guide started showing me the Red Rock. You need to go to the Red Rock. You'll sit on the Red Rock, blah, blah, blah. And then I started figuring out that it was on my birthday. I turned 40. I planned the trip, and all of a sudden everything was like, I was like, oh,
This is
oh my
that
gosh,
thing.
like
This is
this is
that
all
thing.
making sense. Yeah. And so I got up, they had guided me everything. So I was like, okay, I said to my husband, I'm like, I need to set the alarm for 5:30 because I need to drive there, park, and then hike up and watch the sun come up. And this is very important. And they
Okay.
kept giving me the validation of the coyote spirit. So I was like, okay, coyote, coyote, coyote spirit. So sure
Wow.
enough, we do this. We get up in the morning, we go hike. It's dark. We're trying to find a spot where the sun's going to come up. So I find my spot. I sit there and I'm in meditation and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And then the sun comes up, but in the way is another big giant red rock. And so the sun is coming out of the angles of it, but not on me.
Oh
And I was
man.
like, what? This seems crazy. What? Like you talk about expectations, right? So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, what? And then I'm like, I'm going to find the sun. And my guys are like, no, you're not. I'm like, okay. So I sit down. I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm here. And then all of a sudden I got like taken into this energy field where my guides and like they were all lined up and there's all these angels and these like indigenous ancestors of the land, and they started having this ceremony. And how they let me know what was happening was I was completing a cycle of self. And in the tradition, when a soul would leave and integrate in a new higher aspect of self, whether it was when a baby was born or whatever, when one would be integrating a new soul, there was an actual ceremony experience in this culture. And so all of a sudden, it was like this ceremony of like letting go of the cycle of my like life one kind of thing. And I was like integrating this new aspect of self. And then I started chanting in a different language and singing in this like beautiful ceremonious language and singing top of my lungs in this language with ceremony. And then as soon as I stop, the entire valley goes crazy with coyotes. Like it was all of
Wow.
them just going
Whoa,
crazy.
talk about validation.
Yeah, and so I'm like, "Oh my gosh," right? And then, I was like, "Oh," and I knew it was done, and I was like, "Oh my gosh," like, now I'm integrating. It was, like, wild, and I mean, the next month after that was crazy, but then I go down and I'm like, "I'm freezing, like, I need sun." So I'm cold, and then all of a sudden I hear my guide say, "Stand in the sun." So I stood in the sun, like, I found this, like, beautiful triangle piece, and I stood there, and all of a sudden the light hit me, and I felt, like, almost suspended in air. And
Wow.
I heard this booming voice. It's like the entire, like it just moved into this white light. And I was warmed. I heard this booming voice like call me. And I was just like, if I could have fallen to my knees, I would have, but I was like suspended in this light. And it was God. It was God's source talking to me through me. And it was the love that I've never felt or experienced, or any, it was just beyond what you could ever imagine. And then he explained to me how we are all connected as one, and I saw the interconnectedness of our source energy connected to all things.
I love
And then
that.
I got to experience through the perspective of a leaf, a rock,
Mm.
a dog, a buck, a man, and then me again. And
Wow.
all in divine source. But the whole point was to feel it within the divine source that we all are. Like we're all made of God's source, right? So you got
Yeah.
to feel that authentic source. And I was connected. And then as a leaf, it wasn't better or worse. You just knew you were a leaf and it was so divine. And a rock, same thing. And like a dog, oh, for animal lovers, the love that dogs feel. Oh my gosh,
Oh.
like, you think you can feel it as a human connecting, but not like, oh, like, I was just like, when I got home and saw my dogs after, I'm like,
Oh.
I know how much you love it." I'm
I
just
heard they're here to
talking
teach
about
us
it.
unconditional love because they do have unconditional love.
100%. Yeah. And like how a buck is in its strength and its like leadership and how it
Hmm.
shows up in this very authentic way. And like the masculine too, the divine masculine. And like
Mm.
the interplay is so important, which makes this dynamic so beautiful. But
Mhm.
yeah, it was just it from that point on, it was like my book too. It was like I'm now integrating a different life
Mm.
than book one in a beautiful way of understanding and yeah, so it was life changing for
Wow.
sure.
Talk
And
about
yeah,
happy birthday.
yeah,
Yeah.
no
Like
doubt.
God was like, "Girl, 40 looks good on you. Take this." You know,
I'm like,
like
I'll take it. I will take it. Yeah, it was
Wow.
crazy. I didn't talk much for the rest of the day because it was just all integrating
I
for the
was
next
just
month.
okay, so our psychicness is connecting because I was
Yeah.
just gonna ask you, like, how did you integrate all that afterwards? Because like I'm imagining that it was very overwhelming to be experiencing from all those different perspectives. So I like for me, I'm thinking like if that happened to me, I'd probably not talk for a while just because I was so busy
Yeah.
doing the internal work of
Yeah.
integrating
Oh,
through all that. So
Yeah.
how was that for you?
it was the month of April was insane because I'm in Aries and then we had that
The
eclipse
eclipse. Yep.
and like I was like all at once, like really guys, all at once, like ah. But it's starting to chill out a little bit now. So
And then
that's but you have no like there that's why I'd say in the last like 6 weeks for sure, it's probably been the biggest like upheaval, integration, opening, like all the things jam packed.
Wow. Well, I'm
So
excited for
yeah.
your book too.
Yes.
yeah.
For
Did
sure.
we talk about the book?
I think
I'm well, the book two saying like this is my life, like I'm in book two
yeah,
kind
like
of
the
thing.
next
But
chapter or
Oh,
next book of her life.
yeah, because I'm in a
maybe
whole
that's a
new
sign
book.
you should write a book. I don't
But this is
know.
crazy because when I got the downloaded information, they said you will write two books. There's two books for you
Ah,
to
okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm
Have you
starting
started
to
one yet?
yeah, I probably write them both at the same time.
Okay.
But one is on like mediumship and like demystifying the mystic kind of thing.
Oh, I like
And
that.
it's all going to be about mediumship and my the themes of my calls and like understanding mediumship, maybe not necessarily from a perspective of a skeptic, but demystifying it essentially.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
And then the
That's
other
great.
one is the one that's more about like talking to God. Yeah, like it's going to be
Okay.
more,
Okay.
and that information keeps coming, and there's a lot to it. So, yeah.
I have a
Awesome.
persistent question, and I feel
Mm.
like I ask this frequently because I value the answers. What do you okay, let me frame this right. So on
Okay.
our channel we talk a lot about spiritual journeys, spiritual awakenings, you know, the ontological shock that can come from all that. So what advice do you have for somebody that just may be starting on their spiritual journey like now? Like they just got their first foot on the path and they're realizing, wow, I got all this available to me. What advice would you have for someone who's just breaking away from the matrix and entering the mystical?
Um, I would give them I would say that it is important to continue to validate yourself
Okay.
because there's going to be times when you're going to feel crazy. And when you do enter into the spirit realm more and more, we tend to like have a lot of influx of energy and then we'll pull back and then we'll kind of get
Hmm.
forward and then we'll pull back.
Hmm.
And just to know that it's normal to go through those stages and you're not making it up and it's important to feel the wave of it. It's not all perfect and that by documenting it along the way is going to help you to understand everything. So whether that's writing or whether that's recording your voice or whether that's like through paintings or creative aspects of it,
Hmm.
being able to like move through the energy in a creative way is going to be very helpful. And you 100% have the ability to make good boundaries with spirit and with the spiritual experience. So if it's happening all at once and you're finding it's like intense and you want more because you're loving it, but there's a lot, be very clear on what you want and what you don't want.
Mm.
Uh, these are the times when I sit down for meditation in the morning times. That's when I want my information to come through only from the highest consciousness available. That's in the highest light source. That's it. I don't mess around in any other, frequencies other than the highest one available.
Right.
And through
Okay.
this time, and then when I'm out of the meditation and I'm done and I put away the cards and the writing and everything, I'm going to ground myself into the 3D, ground myself into my life. And I'm going to then trust that my heart space will take me into what's best for me. But if you cannot come in with constant messages, that would be great. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you get to organize your spiritual journey in whichever way is comfortable for you, especially at the beginning, so that you can start to feel what it feels like when this is an intuitive hit or when it's, like you'll put the pieces together. You
Mhm.
absolutely will. But remember that validate yourself along the way. Wow, I did have a gut feeling and I did this and it ended up being true. Absolutely. In
Because then you learn to
meditation,
trust yourself more when you do
that's
that.
right.
Yes.
That's right. And the more that you have those positive affirmations for
Mhm.
yourself, the more that you will be aligned with that heart space, the more that you will be connected with those higher vibrational aspects of yourself and then what comes to you as well. And self-doubt happens. It happens to me, it happens to everybody.
Mhm.
It's just inevitable because we're human. Our ego tries to take care of us by keeping us safe, right?
Sure.
So just know that if you do have any part of self that you get fear driven or you're holding back on something, it's totally normal. Do something different, remove yourself, do something different, get outside, do some creative projects, and that you ultimately are in 100% control of how you want to integrate the information. Okay, so like you can make those boundaries because I know some people, especially now, because the energy is so strong and people are having these amazing spiritual awakenings. They're like, what is happening? Like it's almost
Yeah.
like this. It's like, no, 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 no. It's like, no, it's happening for a reason.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just have the intention all the time to connect with the highest source, the highest consciousness for the greatest good of all, and to lead with trust and love. Those
Yeah.
intentions, and you won't be led astray.
That was such an amazing answer.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you.
Beautifully framed. Beautifully
Yeah,
framed.
I resonate with that answer so much. You have no idea.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Good to
Uh-huh.
hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good.
So I have a question that I like to ask towards the end of all of our interviews.
Okay.
What's your greatest hope for the future of humanity?
My greatest hope for the future of humanity is that we can truly lead with our heart space, that we
Yes.
can
Mm.
Yes.
connect all that we do with the authentic part of self that is love. Because our actual essence from where we came from
It's
is
love.
is love.
Love.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And when we don't connect love with what we do, it turns out hollow. And like even something as brilliant as laughter. If laughter isn't paired with love and it's void of love, it's like mean and hurtful.
It is.
You know what
Mm.
I mean?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
like if my greatest hope is that people can start to feel comfortable with allowing their heart to lead because
Mm.
like, ultimately that's the brightest light and that's going to light up your path. The easiest way more than anything else is working on that trust flow of your heart space. That's my greatest hope.
In
Thank
one of
you.
your videos, you said something about a window in front of the heart, and I used that, and I found it very helpful. And so now
Yeah.
I'm gonna be using
Yeah,
that.
opening up the window, visualizing that energy of your heart. And when you open it up, you have this trust because it's all linked to trust. That if you trust that when you give out that love, you can receive it in equal capacities, that give and take and give and take of this like authentic love energy, that's going to lead you. I promise you.
Love that advice. Make sure you guys follow that advice because there is definitely spirit coming through what she's saying right now. I can feel it. I can literally feel
Yeah.
it. Did you have any other closing messages that you'd like to share with our audience?
Oh, this was so great. Thank you so much. I really felt a divine um
Yeah.
kibitzing, fun and joy interaction. So thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It was
We
great to
enjoyed
have
it.
you. Your energy is amazing.
Yeah,
You're
thank you.
literally glowing. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
thanks. That
Very
was so nice
cool.
to meet everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so nice to
definitely.
meet you too. Thank you. This
And
was
anytime you'd
amazing.
like to come back, for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
for
a full
sure.
circle.
Definitely. Yes.
Be interviewing you, and then we'd also have Jeanette, coming up in the future as well. So we've had the three after Jeanette, which is awesome. And maybe in the future we could do another one with all three of you together.
A multi
Hey,
interview. Very
yeah.
cool.
we would
Yeah,
definitely be down for that.
I didn't get a chance to talk to Elise.
Right.
Elise.
Yeah,
Oh,
Elise.
that's right. You weren't there for that one.
She was great, too.
I wasn't feeling good that night, so.
She was great too, though.
Elise is my homegirl. Love her so much. Yeah.
All
Very
right.
cool.
All right. Thanks so much, guys.
All right, guys, thank you
you.
so much. And for our audience that's still sticking around, please do us a favor. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring our little notification bell, drop a lovely comment down below, and share this video with your family and friends to help us spread these beautiful messages that we heard today. Thank you guys so much. Much love.
Much love.
Peace and namaste.
Namaste.